Welcome to Watch Symposium. I'm Austin. A viewer from London came to Tokyo. He wanted to get this watch, a Sea Dweller, a 16600. Now, he was open to the idea of any pre-ceramic dive watch, a date sub, a no-date sub, or the Sea Dweller. But the reason he wanted the Sea Dweller is he likes big, chunky watches. And so this was what he had his eye on. But is this what he got? If you're curious, the day we hit the shops, this was the watch I was wearing. Now, this is a polarizing watch. A lot of people hate it, but a lot of people love it. Myself, I appreciate all of the complications. I love the connection to Rolex, and it's a great travel watch. You don't feel like you're gonna have it stolen like you can with a Rolex, but it's a big watch, it's chunky, and there's something unrefined about it. So even its owner has mixed feelings about it. The first watch we checked out was the 16610 date sub, box, papers, complete set. It's got the no holes case, the solid in-link bracelet, but no engraved rehaut. So this would be from late 2002 up until about 2006. It could be a late Y, an F, a D serial, or an early Z. The polish is quite good. It gets a thumbs up from me there. And this is the price without the 10% tax, which tourists don't have to pay. Also, I found this picture of it, and you can see the tags and the papers, and you can see that it was serviced in 2018 at RSC. That explains the good polishing job, although I think it's been touched up on top of that. And sure enough, it is a D serial. The next piece we looked at was a no-date sub, and this is a 14060M. This is a 4-line version, which they started making in 2008. They did make the 14060M in the 2-line version up until around 2007. The 14060M ran from around 1998 until 2011, 2012. The M stands for movement. Besides the newer movement, another difference between this and the 14060 is the 14060M was never made in tritium. You can see this has an engraved rehaut, which they started in 2008, and this is a random serial. So this is the last of the pre-ceramic subs from the year 2011 or 2012. Full box and papers, spectacular polishing job, and that's because it was polished through RSC. And it's more expensive than that previous date sub, but this is a more collectible piece. Another random serial 14060M, just like the one we saw, but this one wasn't in as good a condition, and on top of that, it was more expensive. We found the Sea Dweller 16600, and I think all things being equal, because the viewer is used to bigger and thicker watches, he probably would have gone for this model. Now, this is an A serial. You can see it's a Swiss-only dial. They did those in 1998, so it's the late U serials or the early A serials that have that Swiss-only dial. Now, the problem with this piece, and it's a beautiful piece, the lugs look really good. I can tell it's had a polish and a third-party polish, but it looks decent. But the problem is that while it came with box and papers, it didn't come as a full set, and there are a lot of extras that come with the 16600, and almost none of the pieces here in Japan include everything. Note the holes case on this A serial and compare it to this no holes case Z serial. They started not drilling the lug holes in around 2002, 2003 during the Y serials. This Z serial is probably from around 2006 because it doesn't have the engraved rehaut. They started doing that during the Z serials, so this would be an earlier Z serial. No box, no papers, but it did come with this RSC service card. Note next to the reference number, the T, that means it's a no holes case. And while it was probably polished nicely during this service, I think it was polished on top of that because it does look to have a third-party polish. Another 14060M with the engraved rehaut. This is another random serial from around 2011, 2012. The lugs look beautiful, but it was more expensive, so we passed on this as well. Note that even though this is a later model, it has the hollow in-link bracelet and the holes case, which was just par for the course for any and all pre-ceramic no-date subs. And the last piece we considered was another 16600 Sea Dweller. And this is a 2003 4 or 5 piece. It's an F serial. Notice that it doesn't have the drilled lugs. Of course, it does have the solid in-link bracelet, which Rolex started on the Sea Dweller much earlier than any other model during the tritium pieces because it's more of a hardcore tool watch. This didn't have the complete package with it, so we passed on it, and we circled around to that original random serial last of the last 14060M. The viewer got the watch, took it back to his home country, had it insured, and look at the price that it was appraised for. So fingers crossed that he loses it. No, I'm just kidding, of course, but that's great for the estimate and the appraisal to be more than what you actually paid for the watch. And thank you, viewer, for showing up, and I had a great time. That was a great gift, this quality street chocolate. My daughters enjoyed it, I did too, and a little bit of English culture there. So thank you. Guys, let me know what you think. Take care, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Now, an interesting aspect about these is that some of them had the blue parachrome spring, and so when you have this service, that's the question. Did you win the lottery, right? That's what I want to know.